My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Iratus, Lord of the Dead. I don't think I have enough bones to get... Oh, hang on. No, I do have enough bones to actually get a high-level bone right now. So, turn over to the bone screen.
Skeleton will clean up this mess.
This could be the final piece of equipment I need to make. Plus block, plus warden resistance. Yeah, totally fine. Totally fine. Good amount of mana at the moment. Are we set for the next combat? Yeah. Definitely. Starting at turn 2 position, extra luck for 3. No, that's not good. Extra luck starting in turn position. No, that's also not that good. Yeah, none of those are particularly good. I'll take a year's necklace. It's fine. Alright, battle. Let's go. So this one actually proposes a little bit of a threat in that there's an enemy here who gains extra accuracy and damage after moving. And we have a party that is based around moving our enemies. So that's going to be a little interesting. We should definitely focus on that. I don't actually think it's going to be a problem. But it is something important to keep in mind. Also, the enemies have a lot of initiative here as well. Something I may want to consider for myself. That's the elite crossbowmen as well. I mean, your abilities don't seem different. Feature doesn't really seem different at all. It's probably just stats.
Savor these last few heartbeats.
So yeah, you can see the archer got double buffed there. So they were considered to have been moved twice for the sake of their feature. Which is, I think, why this build works as well as it does. Because something about the Lost Souls double move moves each individual target twice. I still think this would be a big build without that. I just don't think it would be as, like, almost brokenly powerful. I'm just gonna keep stressing out the target. I'm not gonna try and kill them unless they die.
As your suffering ends,
Not gonna try and kill them unless they die. Yeah, clearly not too much I could have done about that. All right. Next one was Reign of Gore, right? Yeah, because that only costs 10 with the blood magic. If this enemy's killed. Yeah, I think I just, like, get 6 extra parts of battle for 20 extra mana right now using Reign of Gore. Just think that's the way that goes. Alright, let's make a low-level headhunter.
despite a lack of eyes, they know to aim for the neck.
Then a Bride of Iratus, because Bride of Iratus will be useful later.
A design from my younger years.
Clearly. Let's throw this in here and this in here. Bride of Iratus is going to be useful later for making the statue of Iratus if I decide to do that. And that would just be based around the possibility that I do diversify into a little bit of mana usage. I don't know. Maybe it happens. Crazier things have. Oh, God. I'm direly waiting the appearance of a fallen Dampier here. Decent mark. What's it done? Attacks against the target ignore block, armor, ward, resistance, and highly increases their chance to be attacked. So effectively, that just says this target, despite all of the equipment you gave to this target, they now have the ability to insta-die to a crit. Which is, you know, it's neat. It's good, I guess. I don't particularly like that.
Extinction of life.
The fact that armor, resistance, block, like, that's all you have to protect you against some BS the enemies are capable of doing. Having a mark that goes through that, ooh. At the very least, it does take the enemy's entire turn. Mm-hmm. That said, crits already did go through block and ward. It's just that they also don't get affected by armor and resistance with that mark. Alright. And 2 of you have already turned to insanity, and I'm afraid to say that that number is about to increase dramatically all the way to 4. No deaths yet. Ooh, that's a lucky one, actually. That was really, really early in her death procs. And it might chain off. No?
Good, good. More materials.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Didn't think it would be this easy.
This to me seems the situation is just like, yeah.
As worthless as you were in life, you
Try and
will be
insta-kill
worth
one of them.
something in death.
Your chances to skip actions. Blood curse you. I blood curse you right now.
Crimson hunger.
And then, as long as I have the liches act in a certain order, I should be able to rectify my party positioning. Yeah, there we go. If the enemy doesn't decide they're gonna start moving now, or rather gonna start fleeing at the end of their turn, yeah, I'm gonna start attacking you again. The enemy has so much negative luck right now, though. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like the more damage you do with stress attacks, the more likely they are to kill the enemy on their possibility of proccing. That's weird. Or rather, for the possibility of proccing a heart attack. Enemies are 15% less likely to escape, or enemies are 10% more likely to escape. I guess I'll take the hatchet, but I'm not intending to actually use it for the farm here. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think it's necessary at all. Yeah, I mean, I think now we open up the Iratus statue. It's either that or the obelisk, but the obelisk, what are you building at the point other than the Iratus statue? So sure.
What can I say? While the main purpose of this structure is to funnel magical energy, it also serves to provide some much-needed grandeur to my lair. Practical and pleasing.
I don't know when did I turn the subtitle? I didn't turn the subtitles off. Yeah, the subtitles are on. The subtitles just are really poorly timed for Iratus' speech here. Disappear way too early. Anything else in artifacts that I have to worry about at this point in time? No, but I do have the ability to get a ridiculous amount of parts right now. Pop on the Nobleman's Garb. 20% more parts. I don't think 20% more parts matters to me at this point. That said, I think the -1 ward to our all enemies on this floor doesn't matter that much either. But if I was gonna... Oh, they're not always amulets. Okay, so actually this can just be worn there. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm swapping to the ribcage armor then. Ribcage armor here. I just don't want anyone crit out of existence. That's all I want. Is not that. So yeah, what? There's 2 ward on the enemy, but their ward, or rather the characters that are warded, are going to get hit by a character that penetrates through ward anyway, so doesn't seem that important.
Extinction.
9 armor on a lost soul is pretty good. Oh, yikes. You just stole all of the block and ward from Serpent Frog. That's actually really insane. Well, suddenly Serpent Frog is actually possibly in danger. Thankfully, our resistance across the party is pretty good, but that also still stole a turn from me. Without even critting, by the way. You have the ability to stun the whole party? God.
Just a fraction of my power.
Alright then. Hopefully we can get her insane really quickly so I don't have to worry about all of the worst parts. We've got 2 others insane. Hey, insta-killed that beautiful. We're all fine again. Everything's back to rosy, peachy, and dandy. Again, I didn't really want to kill both of them there. I had spells I wanted to cast, but okay, whatever. It happens. Let's go back out here and get Rain of Gore, and then start building toward Infectious Lunacy as well. I also do want Academia... Arcana Antediluvian. Come on, that's a DD reference, right? You can't claim it to be a DD reference just because it uses the word, or rather a word of the root antediluvian, but still. I struggle to name much other media that has referred to anything as antediluvian recently, except for Darkest Dungeon. That just might be my lack of imagination and the fact that I'm not particularly well read, though. So now that I've taken that Infectious Lunacy, that's going to make more sense when hey, there's a Dampier. I can see one right there, but oh, it is in the direction I want to go. Beautiful. So we actually do get a Dampier in 2 fights' time. Great. I will get to show off their joining mechanic, although I don't think I'll be able to get 3 in this single run. As long as I can demonstrate 1, I'm pretty sure you'll know how to replicate that a couple more times. Party is super easy as well. Again, not a huge fan of the double stun there. One thing I would like is if the Dark Knight actually had a little bit of equipment that provided a ward. The Dark Knight having a ward, I think, would be really, really helpful. Just one. Just to prevent things like this, like quick stuns. Oh, hang on. Barbarian? No. I was about to ask if a couple episodes someone commented saying that the Berserkers were going to be a problem for me, and I interpreted that as the Dwarven Berserkers on floor 2, but maybe they were referring to the Barbarians, but also the Barbarians aren't really a problem for us, so I think it doesn't really hold anyway. Okay. And do I throw out a Sorrow? Oh, no, I definitely throw out a, where is it? Rain of Gore, though. Kidding me? Of course. I should have been throwing out Rain of Gore since the start. Whew. Really glad I had all that block, but yeah, here's where I get to actually take the hit. It's only 15, though. God, you're getting a lot of bites at that apple there. Yikes. I'm not seeing why you're getting an extra action. I trust that there's a reason, but I can't see it. Okay, so I've got 2 of them marked with Rain of Gore already now. Oh, actually, it might cycle all the way through all of them now. That's ridiculous. My stress cloud placement in the second round was just dumb. I shouldn't have done it how I did it, but oh well. Seems to have worked out in the end. Excellent. God, we really have to be able to get you down eventually here. The Lich is taking damage that is not going to be healed outside of this combat yet. Which also means I'm going to use the Peace Eternal here. Get that heal. And another heal here as well. And then finally, hopefully this just kills, please. Ugh, beautiful. So I don't have to take any damage for all of what happened there. Play as badly as I like and get called out for it, not at all. We're going down to Overwhelming Ire, I think. Just because we got the first two anyway. May as well finish the set, I guess. We'll pick up the Philo Stone here, definitely. Nothing to do in the graveyard, right? No. Almost time to get the second part of that Iratus statue. But instead, it's time to get a Fallen Dampier. Okay, so here you can see the Fallen Dampier at the start of the party. Negative 20% to a chance of insanity, plus 6 attack for each vampire in the enemy squad. If she is alone in her squad while insane, the battle ends and she immediately joins Iratus. And that's immediately. You don't have to wait for the battle to end in any other way. She doesn't have to escape, doesn't have to run away like with Blood Curse. Just works. Oh god. So that must go just straight through block because I have block and that wasn't a crit. It removed all resistance from our frontliner as well there though. I don't think the enemies here do magical damage, so I don't think that's too much of a problem for us, but I should keep in mind that the Fallen Dampier has the ability to remove all resistance from my characters. Just in case I'm ever running a really highly resistant party on this floor for any reason. I can't imagine why I would, but there you go, it happens, I guess. Yeah. The Dampier's good stats and the fact that they start with all of that ward means that almost certainly every other member of the party is going to die first. So I'll Reign of Gore to mark you. Then kill you. If possible. Come on. You gotta die to something eventually. Why not just die to this cloud? Yeah, there we go. Cloud of gas. So now the enemy gets back to their turn. They go into a stance of Regretful Repose. And now I drop Infectious Lunacy on them. They become insane and battle ends. Told you immediately. There's no fanfare around it. It just ends. Again, no, don't really need to take any of those. I could take out a second squad and start leveling up with the Mimirs, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're 6 slots from the end. I don't think it's worth doing that. All minions lose accuracy and gain luck. No. If 3 minions are destroyed in battle, Iratus receives maximum mana. No. Insurance deal. If after a victory, you get 100% additional chance to receive an artifact for every minion that was destroyed. I guess in the early game, if you can spare extra minions and you desperately need artifacts, maybe use that. But I don't really see its usefulness at this point in time. All right, I'm going to throw the Fallen Dampier into this elite squad, just checking them out, seeing what they are all about. Nothing here is a problem for us. That's all fine. Yeah, their features aren't even different. It's just...
Death has been denied. For now.
Just bounce our way out of that one. We do have the second part of the... I actually could have sacked a Dampier for that. That's fine. I can also sack a Vampire. Hey, this one actually has equipment. Huh, interesting. Still gonna throw you away.
The dead don't get to rest.
For this build in particular. Alright, Ghoul.
You will bring me their
get 2 of you.
their hearts and everything else.
Throw 1 into the Iratus statue, 1 into the excavation, and pretty sure we're just ready to go back out then. Maybe I should use one of my consumables here, like enemies losing vigor doesn't matter. All enemies lose accuracy until the end of combat. I wanted to use that in the boss fight, but I don't know if it actually works in the boss fight. Maybe I just give myself 45 Wrath going into the battle. That seems fine. Gets Wrath-related abilities active really early. That is to say, the ones that trigger each turn based on whether we have Wrath. rather where we have enough. Unable to move. Unable to move is totally fine by me. But yeah, at the start of our turn, did we get the buff to our dread? Yeah. Not all effects actually show up when they trigger, so I don't actually know if Kyle just got extra dread there. Although I do know that I just want to cast Rain of Gore on like every enemy in this combat. Whoa! It's considered a buff? It's wild as hell. Yeah, apparently it's considered a buff by the game. Neat.
Decay, corruption, extinction.
Okay. Neat. So I can't move from this position, and it's the third position that's specifically... Oh, god damn it. That roar. It's the third position that's specifically targeted. It's fine. We're going to get that enemy out of their stance anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they're doing. Neat. Goodbye to the stance, and... lose our first party member? Or rather, they lose their first party member. Question mark. Damn, they get all of them? I hate that the only remaining living one is the one I've already Rained of Gore. I was ready to do that again. I can Sorrow for 0, by the way, so if I'm not casting any other spell in a round, I should cast Sorrow. Okay. No more for the Iratus stats. I mean, there's nothing else really to do here. Are you on level 7 yet? No, level 5. Neat. I think it's just continue. Still. Yeah, I don't think there's anything significant that can happen for the rest of our tactical layer. So I think at this point we just do as many battles as possible and then leave. I think if we focus a little less on the tactical layer, because there's, again, not really much more optimization that can happen in that for... Or rather, not much more meaningful optimization that can happen in that, in my opinion. I think if we do that, we will have time to get through all of the rest of the battles, as well as the boss fight before we end the episode. Oh, Rain of Gore doesn't go through ward. Damn it. That's sad. Entirely my bad. I should have expected that, but still. Right, at least I'll be able to use it constructively in a moment. I also do think maybe there's a build that just focuses on getting Rain of Gore really, really early and uses that for all of its parts upkeep. So maybe there is a build the Statue of Iratus really, really early, get a bunch of mana, start transforming enemies into vampires to get extra units, and start Raining of Gore to get extra parts. Maybe that's a thing. It's feeling more and more like a thing. I don't know if it's a thing in the higher levels of difficulty. Maybe it's a cakewalk strategy. Maybe it's not though. It is weird that cakewalk is more resources, right, than normal. Then the medium difficulty, more pain, the one we're on right now, is fewer resources than normal. And then the hard difficulty is way more resources. Like it dips in the center. I've heard that the enemies in the highest level of difficulty in this game are much, much harder to control. But I suspect that the extra resources will allow you to make much more meaningful decisions in the tactical layer that will help you prepare for the dungeon and those rough enemies. This castle is truly massive, its corridors stretching far below ground as though it was some kind of root system to an enormous ailing tree. It has been a pain to navigate, but you do make some interesting discoveries. Down a small, neglected passage, you find an iron door leading to what is unmistakably an abandoned torture chamber. The pain and suffering still linger upon the stones and various torture tools. Few actually died here, but the echoes of torment could certainly be absorbed, granting power to feed off of the suffering. But do you spread this power around or focus on one specific minion? Spread this power, it'll be a temporary boon, or focus this power. You're not sure which minion will be most compatible with it. Focus, definitely. The most compatible of your minions turn out to be your ex. Oh, wild. I didn't know I'd gone out with Carl. With this concentrated pain, all current and future designs will become much more powerful. So current and future designs, does that mean all of my Dark Knights? Or just this Dark Knight? Because if it was all of my Dark Knights, there would be a little buff up in the top of this part that says all your Dark Knights have +10 to damage. I mean, also, like, I guess I appreciate having the extra damage, but also it doesn't mean anything to me at all. I guess it might in the final combat. Maybe it means something in the final combat. We'll leave it until then. 2 deaths today. Which is the fun new way I say decide. Alright. Wait him. Reign of Gore first. Oh, no, wait, not first. It's Dashed Hopes first, and then Reign of Gore, because Reign of Gore is considered a buff for some reason.
Just a fraction of my power.
Me. Got the second layer down as well. The double pull gets the aim shot away as well. Yeah, it's easy to handle this fight. Like I think the fights outside of the boss fight are just really formulaic for this battle, this team. As soon as you get past basically level 5, where everyone has all of the abilities that they want. Because after level 5, you're just focusing on leveling up the abilities that give you the stats you really want. Before then, you're actually significantly changing the effects of the abilities. This party is also just really powerful by base, like even at level 1. The Lich's Cloud's hitting level 2 is really important. Kyle getting Dashed Hopes over Feudal Hopes is pretty important, but it's not too impactful. So yeah, I got 6 extra parts from that battle, and if I didn't, I would have had 3. Seems weird. Maybe I wasn't awarded them in that screen. Maybe I was awarded them elsewhere. I clearly have enough parts, right? There's no mistaking that. But also, I've never rebuilt a unit. Never? I think I rebuilt maybe 1 unit for the main party. Okay. So the only things I have to concern myself with are what's good in battle. like what's good in an immediate battle. I think actually because I'm stressing my enemies out, Battle Eternal is great. Because I can restore everyone to full vigor in a boss fight, and it's fine because I'm still hitting their stress instead. That's fine. That's actually really good. I think that's probably a clever decision. Finally, I made 1. Let's go for a Headhunter. 2 more fights. Well, 3 more fights, but 2 more fights until then. Ooh, another Fallen Dampier. I mean, I'll collect it. There's no reason not to, but there also doesn't really seem to be a reason to right now. Dash those hopes. Lovely. And now we get to watch all of the enemies take their turns. This happens so commonly because so many of my units are really quick, so we act at the start of the round, but I purposefully get the Lost Soul to wait until the end of the round. If the Lost Soul was slower... it would be good in the first round, but it'd be bad in the second round. Like, it'd be good in the first round because I could probably get all of my abilities off before any of the enemies move, but it'd be bad in the second round because starting the second round with a really early Lost Soul pull is really important for us.
Your frail bodies fail you.
Ooh, good hit. I'm just gonna turn you into a bunch of parts if you don't mind. Is that gonna start already? Damn. It almost looked like this whole build was gonna go off before I even had the Lost Soul do the pull.
One more for the stockpiles.
Actually, 3 more for the stockpiles. Reign of Gore.
So, this is what 1,000 years of evolution looks like.
And again, she was insane, so he just like dominoed right until the very end there. Lovely. Are you now like? No. You're not far from it though. Damn. We got level 2 level 6 liches out of doing that. It's pretty wild. Pretty damn wild. More in our artifacts. No, not needed. Back into battle. I may want to spend less mana in this one if I can. Because what are the parts doing for us at this point, right? What are the parts doing for us? Sorry, Dampier, but you are in the position where that toxic cloud needs to be. Otherwise, I wouldn't be targeting you first, because I think it's actually just much faster if I kill everyone else and let you join my party. Sorting out those speedrun strats. Check me out at SGDQ 2020, where I will be doing my Lord of the Dead playthrough. It's going to be a 100% glitchless, out-of-bounds speedrun.
Your frail bodies fail you.
All right, Carl. You're definitely going back to Dashed Hopes because we've got the Lost Soul in the next turn, and this should get everyone except for the Dampier, right? With any decent luck.
This is my
One.
kind of entertainment.
Ooh. Okay, wait. The shield main never got to 0. Or rather, didn't get to 0 before going through the clouds, which is the most important part. All those extra triggers. Hey, there we go. We're fine now. Even before she moved forward in the party. Just completely ended. And we're back on 100 HP. We're about to go into the final combat, so I will take the grappling hook for the extra luck, accuracy, and evasion. The extra 20 vigor in battle could be important. We'll have a look at the amulet slot, see if there's anything. There's definitely nothing better. Well, decreasing the enemy's crit strength by 20% is actually... Yeah, crit's the only thing that really pose a threat to us. So we'll swap to the Amulet of the Dream Eater here. Enemies can't become inspired. Well, the only enemy that can... Can bosses become inspired? Because if they can, I need Shackles of War. If they can't, then I don't need Shackles of War at all. It's also mostly magical damage in this combat, so Ribcage Armor is probably not going to provide us anything. So I'll probably go for the light armor instead. This has now got everyone with all that extra accuracy, luck, and stuff that I was mentioning beforehand. Okay. In terms of consumables that we take into the combat, I'm thinking Mana Crystal. First spell used in battle will cost 0 mana. And that will be used to play a 0 mana Battle Eternal. And then I can play another Battle Eternal myself afterwards. So I just give myself 3 full HP bars, ideally, sure. But 3 full HP bars to get everything through. Finally, what we're going to want to do is, because we do have so much equipment,
It's no gold, but it will do.
we're going to want to craft the absolute best for each of the characters that we have. Because even if even if we lose this party and do need to give new brains to new characters and stuff like that, we have enough resources that we should still be able to build a full party out of purple equipment after doing all of this. Okay. So now the only person with armor is actually Kyle here, and yours is attack, vigor, and accuracy. Yeah, that's actually pretty bad for you. So evasion, accuracy, and dread, that's a little bit better. Dread, evasion, attack, that's worse. Attack, luck, block, worse. Evasion, accuracy, initiative. I already have enough initiative with this character, so. Is that? Ooh, Serpent Frog does actually need a little bit more initiative, so we'll have a look at you later. Or evasion, vigor, and dread. Okay, so it's evasion, vigor, and dread, or evasion, accuracy, and dread. It's definitely the accuracy. Good. That's a far better Kyle right there. Oh, that's such a big upgrade that we got. All right. Next up, let's level up the weapon. These are definitely like small stat points that I'm diving for at the moment, but I'd hate for that small thing to make the difference.
The smell of successful alchemy.
All right, weaponry. 3 dread, 1 block, and some vigor. I mean, your weapon is already pretty good, right? It's accuracy, evasion, arm. Actually, it's not even that good. I do want more dread on you, Kyle, right now, actually, so guess the weapon is useful here. Accuracy, evasion, vigor is kind of basically what we've already got going. Ward, resistance, and evasion. That's actually really interesting because I was asking for ward on Kyle, but I don't think I need that for the final battle here. So, go with that. Although I don't think the block is going to be valuable. I think the dread is going to be very valuable. I think face to faceless is actually going to be one of the most powerful things that I can do in this entire combat. 59 to 62 stress damage direct as long as she is into the final line. She being the Pyromancer we're about to go up against. Okay. Ectoplasm is perfect for you. And that dust is fine. We have other characters that need dust. So we'll probably be focusing on them. As a priority, probably here. Alright. Dread, block, evasion, accuracy, ward, and armor. One of you has bad dust, don't you? No. No, both of you have quite good dust. Do you have bad dust? The front line here, Carl? No. But I think... Yeah, I think this other dust that has a ward as well as 3 dread is going to be better for you. I do have the ability to get probably only 1 high-level ectoplasm here. Is it just the 1? No, it's 2. It's 2. It's no goal, but it will do. Which is good. We've got 3 ecto slots as well.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
Block, evasion, attack, garbage. Resistance, evasion, luck. Could be okay, but we need the extra accuracy on you. And this has dread, block, resistance. Yeah, it's not useful at all then. Okay, so bones we still need to do this with. You know what I should just do? I think it's just like mega upgrade all of the equipment that we have. This isn't entirely ideal, but it will be faster. And I don't want to take a billion years doing this. I'm a little antsy to get into that final combat. Okay, skulls. I don't need to do it for the rest of the materials, I guess, just because they're all fleshy materials and we don't use fleshy characters.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
Alright. Accuracy, vigor, luck, or accuracy, ward, armor. Yeah, that doesn't beat dread. Does it beat dread on you? No, it doesn't beat dread on you either. Fine, so we immediately ignore those. Rags for luck, block, and dread. That's pretty much what we've already got. Or resistance, evasion, and armor. I think we throw the rags with the extra... Yeah, the rags with the extra dread and block onto Commander Kronos here. Then I think that's basically it for updating all of your materials. Yeah. I think we're done now. All right. So with that entire layer completed, let's also have a look at extraction. So a witchskin sash made out of 2 very good rags makes the missing with an attack gives you plus 10 accuracy for 3 turns. That's pretty garbage. But it's plus 2 initiative, so we drop this on Serpent Frog, definitely. And in having done so, now all of our characters are at 8 initiative at the start of the combat, at the absolute least, which gets the light armor trigger. Okay, we can now go into combat. All right, there's 2 left on this. Is there anything I can get that matters? No, not really. Let's do it. Let's do it. Having a reputation for being dangerous and unstable, fire mages are usually kept far away from civilization, lest you be faced with 1 or 2 city-wide firestorms. The Pyromancer was responsible for one such fire when she was handed over to the mage school as a young girl. Even there, she proved to be more than a handful and earned the enmity of all of her teachers. She has since finished mastering her powers while working as a mercenary in a company that was brave enough to let her tag along. The Pyromancer doesn't hold back, and everyone knows it. Things must be getting desperate in this fire-eyed spell if this fire-eyed spellcaster was hired to join the fight, rather. Hello, fire-eyed spellcaster. How's it going? Alright, so let's have a look at the mechanics for this fight. Got all of these elementals in the front that are immune to stress attacks and ignition. They also don't escape. They're also affected by self-destruct. When the summoning duration ends, the fire elemental explodes, dealing 150% magical and physical damage to all minions. And then there's the Pyromancer in the back line with high resistance. Feat Shot doesn't escape, and attacks that ignite don't deal damage to the Pyromancer at all. So, what are we going to do? I'm going to quickly move her forward. Great. So that she's in a position where I can make a face-to-faceless.
Just a fraction of my power.
I don't want to throw all of my stress bombs directly on top of her. I do want to spread them out so that I can drag her through them as well, but like I do a lot of crit damage on them. 72. Like, the Pyromancer is almost at half HP already. My goal here is ideally to ignore all of her summons. It's a dangerous strategy, I'll readily admit, but the fact that I can full heal my party 3 times makes me feel pretty confident about it. Totally fine, actually. It gets her back into... Hey, there we go. Back into the cloud. We have been critting like absolutely no one's business, though. 540 sanity. Yikes. There's the explosion, number 1. Block and ward just got absolutely eviscerated. Explosion number 2. No? Oh, explosion number 2. Yeah.
First mistake. Opposing me. Your last.
So at the start of a round, even if the Pyromancer's turn isn't up, they just summon a unit if they're spaced to do one. That's a fire elemental in particular. But I don't focus on those. At all. 111! Now that's a crit. All right, she's dead any moment now. Also, you don't have to kill her summons after she dies, by the way, so it's very much like the Inventor fight in that fashion. In the Keymaster fight, you do actually have to kill the summons. Hello? Game? Game? I can't do anything. Like, I have no control. Like, nothing is happening when I'm clicking. If I abandon the battle, I lose the current squad. Excuse me? The game is soft locked. Wow. That actually happened. All right. I'm gonna go search the internet for every possible ability to fix this. I will bring you back when I have figured out possibly if there is a solution or not. Holy hell, I just tapped back into the game and I have the ability to move. I just tapped back into the game in order to deliver the information that I found on the forums that there's no fix to this. And yet, tapping back in after tapping out seems to have fixed it. So if you have been encountering this problem, try that. And also, Pyromancer, try this. Damn it, that would have been so much cooler if it killed. I was already coming to terms with the fact that I was going to lose this run based off of a bug at the end after I was trying to rectify, pick back up, and straighten the ship up, fly right, that kind of whole dealio. But no, that's a kill right there. Now, you do have the ability to interact with other stuff on the tactical layer right now, but there's literally nothing to do except for move to the exit and watch the cutscene.
Time to harvest.
Short cutscene. Indeed. Unfrozen with the producer and CEO Denis Ferrov. Unfrozen being the company that made this game. I am going to let the credit screen run out here the first time. It's something that I do every single time that I get to the first credit screen for a game. Until then, I will say as well, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. This is not the end of the series. Merely the start. But that is our first successful run in the more pain difficulty. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. And hopefully we will see you next time.